Welcome to Come Back with Erica Cobb. This is Comeback Conversations with my sister, Ebonie Cobb. What is on your mind?
What is on my mind? I mean, I start working out again. Starting to get back in a good routine.
Good.
And actually, I'm curious because I realize I'm not a runner. Obviously, these muscles don't come from running. I start running, and like when I run, I'm like I need something good, and like I need music. Like I need like something that's gonna keep me going.
Yeah.
And then I realize like my go-to song is Whitney Houston, "My Love Is Your Love." I can't explain it. It's not a fast song. Something about it just gets me through like the first 5 minutes of running. And then I was like, does anyone else just listen to like super slow music when they run? Like I'll listen to that. Like I listen to like things that I don't listen to when I'm just like hanging out around the house. Like I'll do like some slow Beyonce. I don't know if I'm just in my feelings when I run because I don't want to be doing it or what's going on. But I'm like, what is your running song? Like, what is your song that like, okay, I don't really want to do this right now, but it's gonna get me going and I'm gonna be able to at least get through this first 5, and then after that, you're on the way.
That's interesting you should ask because automatically I thought of On the Floor, J-Lo and Pitbull. There is something about that song that just gets me so pumped. It's like, on the floor. Dun, 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 dun. It's just the beat. It's something, like I'm not a runner, but when I do cardio, that song has to be there. But it's interesting that you were talking about slower songs for your cardio routine because there was a chapter in my life where I would do cardio to gospel music. And
I can get down some curbs to stomp. I can do it.
Oh man, I was having church on those treadmills.
Stomp.
Oh my god.
All my people say,
Stomp.
everybody say,
Stomp.
woo.
No, it was something about it. So I'm not judging you for Whitney Houston is what I'm saying.
I can see that. Now I gotta like look up some Kurt Franklin and be like, am I about to get down to this?
I mean, it's very inspirational.
It is. Because I think there's a build up to that like kind of gets you going. You're like, all right, I'm in this. Like, God's people. Hey.
Yeah. I mean, why not? I will share this story though, as long as we're on the topic, because when I was doing morning radio on B96, they would companies would send us product all the time for like endorsements to check it out, to mention it. And we got this product from a company. I'm not sure if it's still around, but it was called Oh My Bod. And basically, they were a line of vibrators. And the whole premise of this vibrator, and this is like in 2006 or something like that, but the whole premise was that you actually attached it to your iPod at the time, and it would vibrate based on the music. So we received this in the middle of the show, and we're opening it up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a vibrator. And my co-hosts were like, I'm like, you plug it in. They're like, we'll plug it in. Like, who has an iPod? And I was the only one who had an iPod. So I plugged it in and it started playing gospel music. Huh. And I was like, oh, Lord, that's... I said, oh, Lord, on the radio, not at home, just for the record.
Okay. Okay, cool. That took a turn.
It just made me
We're clearly talking about two different cardios here. Hey, Erica, what's on your mind? What's on your mind lately? What's going on with you? What's on your mind?
Sorry, it just made me think of weird music and inappropriate times. Okay, anyway, what's on my mind this week? I'm glad we started off so lighthearted because I am in the middle of a rant, okay? What's on my mind are people who believe that it is my job to do theirs. And this is where this is coming from, okay? Because I feel like some people are just kings and queens of delegation. Like, that it was your responsibility to get a task done, but for some reason you've delegated that task out to someone else. Like, there are people, and I'm not even talking about in management, I'm just talking about people who have other people who aren't necessarily at the same level that they're at. They don't do anything but tell everybody else what they need to do in order to get the work that they were supposed to get done. And sir, ma'am, you are not a manager, okay? You are responsible for doing this task. And really, where all this frustration is coming from is because I have been very open that I was starting my IVF journey, okay? I was supposed to start my IVF journey. Basically, long story short, I received what you receive a calendar, and the calendar is very detailed. Like, you're supposed to start this medication on this day, and then 2 weeks later you start another medication, and 2 weeks later you start shots. Like, everything is so, like, you have to follow everything to a T. So Anthony, my husband, and I go to our appointment. Now, our appointment is like just labs, but we're also supposed to be told, okay, great, it's time for you to start. So the nurse tells us that it's time for me to start. So I told you, people at home, I told everybody, like, all right, I'm starting, because I feel like if I talk about it, it doesn't have me. I don't feel like confined by it. It's like, this is just what it is. This is my life, right? So I get to a date on the calendar, and I'm looking at this, and I realize that I'm supposed to start this medication. So I go and grab the bottles that I have, and I realize I do not have this medication. And I also realized that they neglected to tell me that the medication that I was supposed to take beforehand also is not in my possession, or that I was supposed to take this medication. So I reach out to the nurse and I say, hey nurse, there seems to be a problem. My calendar doesn't fit what I have received, and also it's off by like 10 days. The nurse responds to me and tells me that I was supposed to start this on, like, let's say the 22nd. And I was like, nurse, ma'am, how was I supposed to start taking a medication before I was approved and cleared for IVF? So basically, you have not done your due diligence to even understand how the dates work, okay? Like, I can't retroactively take medication. That's your responsibility to give me a calendar. Why are you asking me what I'm doing when I'm asking you why you didn't tell me what to do? It is not my job in order to figure out how the calendar works. Do I look like a fertility doctor? Do I look like a fertility nurse? Do I look like somebody who understands what any of these medications are supposed to be doing and when I'm supposed to be taking them? No, that's why we paid for our unborn, unconceived child a Harvard 2-year tuition so that you can do your job and we can do what you tell us to do. So that is my rant. I am very frustrated. And that's what's on my mind.
Yeah, I can't really follow that one up. That's a rant. No, that sucks. Number one. Yeah. Number two, you do not seem to be someone who knows about the full calendar nor the medication, and that it does not fall within your
scope of knowledge.
There we go.
Yes,
there we go.
My scope of knowledge. You know whose scope of knowledge it does fall into?
The nurses?
The nurse and the doctor of the clinic that we have paid Harvard education for a child who's not been conceived yet. So get on your ish and figure it out. And I'm really quite nervous because, Ebonie, quite honestly, if you can't figure out how files, paperwork, and calendars work, how am I supposed to trust you with my eggs and inevitably my embryos?
Valid point.
Where they do that at? Where they do that at? And Colorado is like the #1 leading state for fertility and treatments and IVF. Get y'all's crap together. I know 4 other women, 4 other couples who are going through IVF or just finished IVF. And this is not the first time that anyone has heard this type of story. So if you are going to hold people by the balls because they need some help procreating, I'm going to need you to do it ethically and responsibly. And that goes across the board because from my understanding, there are 3 or 4 fertility clinics that are the top of the top in the entire nation. And I'm telling you now, y'all suck. You suck. Thank you. You're listening to Come Back with Erica Cobb. You're listening to Come Back with Erica Cobb. I'm sorry. I'm hyped. I mean, who wouldn't be? Like, it makes no sense to me at all. It really irritates me. It makes me very emotional because I know that there are so many people who are mortgaging like their entire lives in order to bring a child into this world. And for medical professionals to be so incredibly unreachable, so incredibly non-communicative, they can't keep track of paperwork. They can't keep track of files. It's like, it's egregious at this point. And I think you're taking advantage of vulnerable people, and I'm going to need for you to get your act together. Okay. Sorry.
No.
Sorry. Okay.
No, that's an emotional investment as well. You're kind of ignoring the fact that, like, you have to emotionally get ready for this whole process, and, like, you think it's going to happen, and then it doesn't. So now you're emotionally drained. You're going, like, there's a lot that goes into that. Besides just financial, it's like the thought process, and this is how it's going to happen, and, you know, moving forward, I need to plan my life around this, and then it doesn't happen.
It's like, hurry up and wait. And it's been going on for over 13 months, so it's not like we just started this yesterday. So yeah, it is very frustrating when you think something's happening now and you realize, oh, okay, now I have to wait again. So I know a lot of people who can empathize with this, or you know people who can, and just know that, like, my heart is with you and I'm thinking of y'all because it's very frustrating and no one should have that much power over someone's destiny. And that's just how I feel about it. So you are listening to Come Back with Erica Cobb, Conversations with My Sister Ebonie. It is your bonus episode. And we're going to have the great sibling debate.
Let's go.
All right. So let's get into the great sibling debate. For those of you who are joining us each week, you know that this is the time that Ebonie and I talk about a topic that we might be on opposite ends of the spectrum on. Sometimes it's me convincing her of something, and today is one of those weeks. So for those of you who are familiar with the Netflix series, The Ultimatum, it started last year. It was a heterosexual couple, or all heterosexual couples. This year, it's The Ultimatum Queer Love, and it is all lesbian couples. I think this is an amazing show. I have binge watched this show. For those of you who want to watch it, I won't give any spoilers as to how it all ends. But, Ebonie, you're against watching the show, and I just want to know why.
First off, I didn't even know that that's what this season was. I just started getting messages like, you need to watch The Ultimatum. And I'm like, if you tell me I need to do something, you know me, I'm not going to do it. Like, so many messages came in where, like, even people at my job were like, you watched The Ultimatum yet? And I'm like, what? Like, no, I haven't watched it. I had no idea what this season was about. But, like, so many people are so invested in me watching it that I'm just like, I don't know if I want to watch it because I don't know if that's, like, what does this, like, what part of that reminds you of me? Like, that's my fear, is that, like, I watch it and I'm like, so that's what you think of me? Like, I don't know. And also, I'm just like, you can't, like, you, like, say it enough times to me, you know I'm not going to do it. It's like, you need to get an iPhone. You need social media. Then I'm not going to do it.
Well, see, I love, first of all, for y'all who have been listening for a while, you understand how much I have invested in the idea of representation in media. We talked about it, I think, a couple weeks back because of the Martha's Vineyard, Summer House Martha's Vineyard on Bravo. It's an all-black cast, and I think we get so few shows on platforms like that. I think it's important to support. The Ultimatum Queer Love is another example of, there are so few examples. Like, I remember when The Ultimatum first came out, and it was like, okay, anytime we see things like The Ultimatum, The Bachelor, Bachelorette, like all of these different shows, there is no diversity of love on those shows. So I feel like a show like The Ultimatum, Queer Love, shows a diversity of love. It also shows that something like Queer Love, which was really exoticized for so long in media, if it was shown at all, it's showing a very normal example, very everyday. It's not like exoticized in any way. It doesn't feel like it's meant to exploit. I feel like it's meant to represent different types of queer love from a woman lesbian angle.
I'm sure it's a great show. I just am like, I don't want to get, I don't know. I don't want to know.
Like, what? Why don't you want to know?
Everyone seems so invested in this show. And it's just like, the fact that the only reason I know about it is because people are like, hey, Ebonie, this new show's on? It's called Ultimatum. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I've heard it before. And they're like, no, you're really going to like this season. And I'm like, okay. Like, I don't quite understand. Like, why am I going to like this season more than any other season? I'm quite confused. And then, like, there's that awkward moment of, like, you should just watch it and you'll figure it out. I'm like, okay, no, say it. Like, no, say it. Why am I gonna like it? Like, I need to know the reason. It's been like this like skip around of like, have you watched it yet? Oh, it just reminded me of you. And I'm like, no, I don't know who's on the show, what they look like, or what happens, but I'm pretty sure there's only one thing that's gonna remind you of me, and it has nothing to do with like any of the personalities on the show. It just happens to be queer characters. Like,
well,
that's it.
Her name is Mal.
Wait, what?
There's one person on the cast. She's the only black woman on the cast. And her name is Mal. And that's probably what people are referring to. But actually, I can understand, because when I first saw Mal, I was like, oh man, like, I love Mal. Like, Mal could be my sister. But it wasn't because she was the only black woman on the show. It was like, it's her spirit. Like, she is the absolute, like, let me put it this way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and clean that up.
Mal, no, I'm not cleaning it up. I'm going to tell you what I think. Mal is so, like, magnetic. Like, the moment that she walked on the screen, I was like, damn, this is her whole show. She didn't even say anything. Like, she just, it's the energy. Like, it's you have that energy. Like, you walk in, everybody wants to get to know you. Everybody wants to talk to you. Like, the conversation is about you. And that's Mel. Now, in terms of Mel's personality, I wouldn't say that that's necessarily you totally. I mean, there's a lot of things that I was like, oh, that's not like Ebonie at all. Now, in terms of your personality, I think you're a little bit more of, I was going to say a Xander, but I don't think. No, I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one. I got to think about it from personality.
First off, between the two of us, when I walk in the room, I'm the magnetic one.
Yeah.
I'm the fallback girl. I fall back. I just fall back, hang out in the corner. That's my thing.
No, you're not.
All right.
That's not true.
All
See,
right.
I think Mal feels the same way, and and that's why you remind me, or she reminds me of you. But I don't understand. Like, we should watch it. I think we should watch it together.
You want to just record it? You want to watch it and just record our reactions to it?
We could do that. Oh, we should do that. You want to do a recap?
No, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. Not that I don't support the representation. I'm just like, why do you keep asking me if I watched it? Like, I have this theory.
It's
like,
so good. It's just so good.
It just feels like I'm being minimalized to like, oh, like, what else do you like to watch? Like, nah. You just need to watch this one show. Like, no, I like to watch a lot of shows, and I get that there's representation, but like, why are you asking me about anything else? You didn't ask me about Love is Blind. So, like, why are you asking me about the Ultimatum? Like,
I understand that for you, it as a contrarian, anything that someone is asking you or suggesting that you do,
it's not someone.
You're
There's
going
been like
to do
multiple
right.
people.
You're
Like, it's
going
been
to
like
do
a
the
work day of
opposite.
like, you're gonna love this, and I'm like, this is kind of like when it's like, you're gonna love this rapper, and I'm like, why am I gonna love this rapper?
It's not the same. If the show really sucked, I would be like, no, don't watch it. But the show is great, and I feel like it's a situation where this show is treated. There's a difference between like having a show specifically for queer people, but this is the same formula as when they had the ultimatum for heterosexual couples, but they just happen to be queer. It's amazing. It's amazing. There's like the dynamics of like, it's like this person's the villain, but here's the real villain. This person.
It's reality TV.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I want to
TV.
hear from y'all, listeners. Have you watched either the Ultimatum, the first season, or Ultimatum Queer Love? And do you think that Ebonie should watch this show? And more importantly, do you think that we should watch it together and do a recap? Because I feel like that would be pretty dope.
I can't with you right now. I can't.
Why?
I'll whatever the viewers say, I'll oblige. But yeah, that was definitely not on my list of things to do.
Well, I feel like we should watch The Ultimatum, Queer Love. We should watch Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, and so that we can be on the same page, we need
then
some.
Fine. You watch 90 Day Fiancé with me then.
90 Day Fiancé
Nope.
is not
Nope.
the same.
Nope.
90 Day Fiancé is basically an ongoing series. It has like 50 million episodes.
But the
There's
new
no
season
way.
just started.
There's no way that I'm going to get through all of that content.
Not with that attitude.
Plus, 90 Day Fiancé isn't even like something that we are actually relating to in any way. Like, I want something that we can relate to. That's all I'm saying.
All right, fair. Whatever the vote is, I'll agree with.
All right, so we're going to kick it to y'all. Should Ebonie and I binge watch The Ultimatum Queer Love together?
And if so, should Erica buy me dinner for coming over and doing it?
Okay, first of all, let me be very clear about this. This is a little inside baseball, and I know we have gone completely off the rails. However, we shoot this show on Thursday nights, okay? Every Thursday night, it's myself and Ebonie and our amazing cameraman, lighting, audio, producer, editor, Peter Ortiz. Okay?
Confidant, best friend.
And after we shoot this show, we go downstairs where Anthony, my husband, is, and we're like, hey, what are we doing for dinner? And then we have family dinner every Thursday. It is amazing, and I love it. So the idea of me buying you dinner just for watching the show is, one, a very moot point.
I do come here for dinner a lot.
Because what has changed?
I will say I cook on Sundays till Thursday morning for breakfast, and then my hope is I have dinner here for Thursday night, and then I have that for the next day for Friday, and then weekends are fair game. So it's been really, it's been part of my meal prep.
Yeah.
It's been pretty clutch.
That's so amazing for you.
It is. It really is.
Very quite amazing.
Don't live a bad life here.
Amazing for you. I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that.
Happy
Maybe
for me.
that'll prolong your stay in Denver.
We'll see.
We'll see. You're listening to Come Back with Erica Cobb. It's conversations with my sister, Ebonie. Ebonie, what are you looking forward to?
Great question. What am I looking forward to? I think I'm kind of on my grind right now, so I'm kind of just looking forward to like staying in this routine of like working out, eating healthy, getting a little golf in with my best friend and confidant, Peter. Definitely look forward to that. Yeah, just some rest, relaxation, and some fun time.
As we wrap up, I just want to say we will be taking a break next week because it is Ebonie's birthday. So here, Ebonie, happy birthday.
Oh, thanks. Cool. I don't have to react.
Happy birthday to Ebonie. We will be hitting you up on social media. Definitely check us out because we'll have some birthday shenanigans that we're sharing there. But we're going to take a break for a week, so we will see you in a couple weeks. Thank you so much for listening. You can go to my online home, comeback.tv. Make sure that you watch on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, check out the audios on Spotify. And always hit me up on social media at Erica Cobb on all platforms except TikTok, because I blew up on TikTok a couple weeks ago. Yeah. It's at I am Erica Cobb. And thank you to my Chicana creators who reposted some of my videos. And now I have this amazing community on TikTok. And I appreciate y'all. So until next time, and happy birthday, Ebonie!
Getting up there. Getting up there.
Yeah, you
Later.
are.
Let's go watch the Ultimatum.
Old.
Whoa.